Welcome back. Continuing the news. The second witness in the trial of Portland businessman Everton BEACHY Stout MacDonald gave compelling evidence today against the man whom he said offered him $3 million to kill his wife. MacDonald and his co-accused Oscar Barnes are on trial for the July 2020 murder of Tonya MacDonald, a 32-year-old businesswoman. Raquel Porter has the latest.
Detailing events leading up to the killing, Denverlin Minot, who was convicted and sentenced to 19 years and 10 months for his role in the murder of Tonya MacDonald, broke down during the morning session. Minot, otherwise called Bubbler, fell to the courtroom floor, held his hands over his face and wept. Presiding Judge Justice Chester Stamp adjourned the court for 15 minutes to allow the witness to compose himself. When the court resumed, the witness recalled his numerous interactions with Mr. MacDonald via telephone and in person at his establishments and his home. He told the court that during one of their meetings, Mr. MacDonald gave him $150,000 and a cellular phone in a bag. Days after receiving the money, the witness said Mr. MacDonald complained, "Me can't afford to give you a job for do, and you no do it yet. It'll take too long." The witness said Mr. MacDonald called him an idiot and suggested contracting men from Kingston to kill Tonya. He said Mr. MacDonald encouraged him to carry out the killing. He said it was at that point he told Mr. MacDonald, "No bother give away the work, man, me I go do it." He told the court that Mr. MacDonald instructed him not to inform him when he was killing Tonya. And earlier in today's proceedings, the witness said Mr. MacDonald brought Tonya to his yard and introduced her to him. But he said he first saw Tonya at the couple's supermarket where he sought employment for his son. During the couple's visit, he said Tonya offered him $1 million to acquire an illegal firearm for her because she wanted to kill the man who murdered her father. But the witness later revealed to the court that Mr. MacDonald told him that he had orchestrated his father-in-law's killing. And recalling another meeting, the witness said BEACHY Stout took out a scandal bag with cocaine and snorted the substance before he alleged that Tonya hacked into his bank account and stole $31 million. The witness also provided details of an aborted murder attempt on Tonya. He said one night about 9 o'clock, he and Oscar Barnes took a taxi to Mr. MacDonald's house where they waited under the garage for Tonya to arrive. But the witness said when she arrived in a minibus, the helper opened the veranda grill and Tonya ran inside the house. Tonya was stabbed repeatedly and her body burned. Her charred remains were found slumped beside her car on Sherwood Forest Main Road in Portland. Raquel Porter, TVJ News.
The health authorities today shut down the popular Crab Circle along Hero Circle amid public health concerns. Kirk Wright has the details.
The vendors were hopping mad when the authorities swooped down on them today to shut down their food establishments. Some were next to tears after witnessing their businesses they had worked hard to build being shut down. But the visit by the authorities wasn't unexpected.
If something circulated like that, of course it was expected. We are dealing with food. We didn't have any sanitation from morning. So it had prolonged a lot of things, a lot of senseless things.
But it was a viral video of Alice, one of the more popular food vendors, which turned the spotlight on Crab Circle. It shows her wiping her bottom after what she says was a sudden bout of diarrhea.
I drink hot beer, come here, say, me not feel so good, because me have pressure, me not feel so good. So since I said, I feel like I want to go to the bathroom, here comes. I'm just wipe my bottom, I'm good on my knees, so I never see such a video. Don't show it,
The vendors reluctantly packed their belongings and the food items they could salvage and evacuated the area. It looked somewhat like a crime scene after the police intervened. The vendors, however, were left tallying their losses, but also fuming over the action of their fellow colleague vendor to have recorded Alice in the act.
That prolonged a lot of things, a lot of senseless things where should not happen. And yet still it don't happen. Senseless people who are prolong it for videotape it and those stuff.
But the Chief Public Health Inspector, Grayson Hutchinson, says while the video sparked their action, other public health breaches have been uncovered that warranted a shutdown.
Based on the report that I have received, there is no sanitary facility or toilet and hand washing facilities here. There is a challenge as it relates to water, inadequate or lack of water.
Here at Hero Circle in Kingston, or what's now known as Crab Circle, is a very, very popular place for people to stop and eat. I can tell you almost everyone can attest to stopping here at some time or the other to have a meal. They're famous for crabs, soup, and corn, and not only just corn, but corn with coconut. And Mr. Hutchinson says the vendors were also without some vital documents needed to be handling food.
They don't have valid food handlers permits. Some of them would have had expired permits. If you notice also, a number of them would not have been properly attired to carry out this kind of operation.
The Mayor Delroy Williams was on the scene.
The issue as I saw it is right now it's not just only access to water. There are also some behavioral issues here, and that has to be addressed and through further training, and that training will have to take place.
He says he'll be talking to the Chief Public Health Inspector about suggestions that each stalls should have its individual water supply. He added that there is access to water, but that the pump that was installed has been stolen. So what happens now to other similar operations in the corporate area?
Wherever it is that food is being offered for sale, we have a duty, we have a responsibility to do our assessment and to ensure that they meet the requirement.
Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
Vendors and small business people based in the southern belt of Clarendon and Manchester say they want the government to provide them with a grant to help offset expenses for the next 3 months. They've been severely affected by the opening of the new leg of the highway. Dwayne Anderson has a conclusion of this two-part Primetime News special report.
Playing in the road linking Clarendon Park to Porus due to